Good morning, students. Welcome to the class again. We will discuss mechanism of radical polymerization reactions. As we have discussed, each mechanism contains three steps. First step is chain initiation. What is chain initiation? Chain initiation, nothing but generation of the first monomer. So that is a radical initiator generates a radical which converts the monomer into a radical. So what is chain initiation? Because it is a radical mechanism, generation of monomer radical is the first step. Generation of the monomer radical is the first step. For example, if you take AIBN as the radical initiator, then what we will do? We will take AIBN and then we will heat this. As a result, what happens? It will undergo homolytic cleavage and it generates two isobutyronitrile radicals and the nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas will be escaping. So this is uh, initiator. Initiator generates the radical. Now, this initiator radical reacts with a monomer. For example, we will take an alkene as the monomer. Alkene as the monomer. We will take an alkene as the monomer. So this is an alkene, carbon carbon double bond alkene. It is having some substituent Z. So forget about the substituent. Now this monomer reacts with this radical reagent, this monomer radical, this radical molecule reacts with the monomer and generates the monomer radical. How it will react? In an alkene we have a carbon carbon double bond, that is pi bond. So pi bond can easily interact with the radicals. So here this radical will interact with this carbon. Now the pi bond will break down to give one radical on each carbon. This pi bond will break down to give one radical on each carbon. Then this radical will form a bond with one of the carbon. This radical will form a bond with one of the radical. So as a result, what happens? One side, this radical reagent forms a bond with this radical reagent forms a bond with CH2 CHZ. Remember, it has to react here. I'm sorry. It has to react here. Why? Because here this side radical is a primary radical, this side radical is a secondary radical because we have a substituent. As we know, the stability of radical is tertiary radicals. What is the stability order for a radical reagents? Tertiary radical is more stable than secondary, than primary, and then methyl radical. So this is a primary radical. Primary radical is more reactive than secondary radical. So this radical reagent adds to primary radical, then we have a secondary radical here. So this is secondary radical. So what is this compound? This is the monomer radical. Monomer radical. What is this compound? It is the monomer radical. So the generation of the monomer radical is the first step, chain initiation in a radical polymerization reaction. The second step in a radical polymerization mechanism is chain propagation. First step is chain initiation. Second step is chain propagation. What is chain propagation? The monomer radical generated in the first step will react with another monomer and generates yet another large reactive radical intermediate. So the radical monomer which is generated in the chain initiation step now reacts with another monomer and generates a large radical. This process will continue. This process will continue for several steps so that the final length of the chain will be very, very large. For example, this is the radical which is generated in the first step. Now it reacts with another monomer. So as we know, this double bond will undergo homolytic cleavage. One radical will be polarized towards this CH2. Another radical will be polarized towards this CH. Now the radical on CH2 and the radical on CH, they both will combine and generates a bond. So this is the first monomer. Then now we are adding another monomer to this. So this is another large radical intermediate. This is another large radical intermediate. Now this process will continue. It will continue for many more steps. It has to, then only the chain length will increase, right? So I'll just write one more step and you practice one more step. So what happens? This radical will form a bond with this carbon. Now out of the two electrons, one electron will move towards CH2, an electron move towards CH. So this generates one more large radical. These two are the first, second monomers, and now we are adding third monomer. There is one more radical. Now you write one more step. You write one more step. So this is how it undergoes propagation. That means a small chain will add one more monomer and it will increase its chain. See here in a chain growth polymerization, the length of the chain increases only on one side. One side it is fixed. One side it is not reactive. It is reactive only on one side. So the chain will grow in each and every step on one side. So that is why it is called chain growth polymerization. Now in each and every reaction, each and every step, one monomer will be added to the radical so that in each and every step, the length of the chain will increase. Now this propagation step will continue until it becomes a reasonable size. The final step in the radical polymerization reaction is the chain termination. Now, how this in reactive chain will be terminated finally? The reactive chain will be terminated when two such chains combine. So that is what is called a dimerization, dimerize, or when they undergo disproportionation. We will look at what is dimerization and what is disproportionation. Say for example, what is dimerization? Two such chains will combine. This is a radical, and other side we have the same radical. Then if these two undergo dimerization, because it is a radical, this is also a radical, so both will form a bond by combining. This is what is called dimerization. Dimer means two molecules. Dimer means a combination of two molecules. So this generates the final So this is the dimer. There is a bond between these two radicals. What is disproportionation? Disproportionation means one will undergo oxidation, another one will undergo reduction. So that is what is called disproportionation. So to just save some space, I'll write it here itself. One chain will undergo oxidation, another chain will undergo reduction. How? One chain will undergo oxidation. That means it will lose one hydrogen next to the radical center and generates a double bond. This here, one hydrogen will be removed as a hydrogen radical. From the CH2, one hydrogen will be removed as a hydrogen radical. So carbon generates an radical. So there is a radical on this carbon and this carbon, both will combine to generate a double bond. So this compound has undergone oxidation. Loss of hydrogens is called oxidation. Gain of hydrogens is called reduction. So this molecule has undergone oxidation, and another chain, this chain will pick up this hydrogen radical and it becomes CH2. Here we have one radical on carbon. So the generated hydrogen radical from this carbon will now come and form a bond with this radical. So it generates CH2. CH2Z. So this molecule has undergone a reduction. Why? Why? Because the CH2 picked up a hydrogen radical, so it has become CH2. So this is how a disproportionation reaction occurs. So dimerization means simply these two chains will combine to become a dimer. What is disproportionation? One chain will undergo oxidation, another chain will undergo reduction. How it will occur? Simply just by loss of a hydrogen radical here. When we remove one hydrogen radical, the generated carbon radical will interact with this carbon radical, so they generate a double bond. Now the generated hydrogen radical will form a bond with carbon radical in another chain. So it becomes saturated. So this is how a chain in a radical polymerization reaction will be terminated. Please take some examples for radical polymerization molecules. For simplicity, I am not writing the substituent here. In the polymerization, we have written Z here. So I'll write whatever the substituent is there like this. This molecule is called vinyl chloride. This molecule is called as vinyl chloride. Carbon-carbon double bond. Only two carbons are there with a double bond, then that is called vinyl chloride. When it undergoes polymerization, it forms a polymer of this kind. This kind. Now the monomer is CH2CHCl. So this is the monomer. So that is why I am representing it in a square bracket. The polymer is called as polyvinyl chloride. If you may not recognize it if I say polyvinyl chloride, but you will simply recognize it when I say PVC. PVC is mostly used in squeeze bottles, PVC pipes. We all are familiar with the PVC pipes. Then it is also used in flooring, then siding, that means windows, walls. The simplest molecule is ethylene. Ethylene, when we do polymerization, it generates polyethylene. Ethylene undergoes polymerization to have polyethylene. If I say polyethylene, you may not recognize it, but if I say polythene, you will simply recognize it. So polythene is very famous, polythene covers. It is used as films, toys, bottles, plastic bags, etc. I'm not giving complete details. There were many examples for applications of polyethylene. The polyethylene produced by radical polymerization is a low density polyethylene. It is a low density polyethylene. The next example for radical molecule which undergoes radical polymerization is tetrafluoroethylene. The two hydrogens are replaced with the fluorine. This is tetrafluoroethylene. I'll give the heading. This is monomer. This is polymer. And these are applications. Now, tetrafluoroethylene undergoes polymerization to give polytetrafluoroethylene. If I say polytetrafluoroethylene, this is the monomer. CF2 is the monomer. So the nomenclature is polytetrafluoroethylene. If I say polytetrafluoroethylene, you may not recognize it, but it is very famous as Teflon. It is very famous as a Teflon. Now you come to know the applications of Teflon. Teflon is a very high temperature resistant material. It is used as a coating in non-sticky pans. The top layer, whatever it is coated on the non-sticky pans, it is a Teflon. Teflon, a polymer which is highly resistant to temperature. Teflon can resist up to 2000 degrees centigrade. So under normal cooking temperatures, Teflon will not undergo any chemical reaction. So that is why it is used as a coating in non-sticky pans. So applications, non-sticking surfaces. We can use them as a liners, then a cable insulation, and Teflon tapes. Teflon tapes are very famous uh, in water pipes. So Teflon tapes are used for long standing. And the final example of compounds which undergo radical polymerization is styrene. This molecule is called as styrene. When it undergo polymerization, what we will get is polystyrene. So for simplicity, I'm writing pH. This is the monomer. This is called polystyrene. If I say polystyrene, you may not recognize it, but when I say polyester, you can easily remember this, right? So this is used in packaging, toys, clear cups, that means transparent cups, hot drink cups, etc. There are many applications for polystyrene.